let's rank some lightsaber battles. Welcome back. I've been ranking a few different Star Wars topics over the last few weeks. I've ranked my top Star Wars movies, my top Star Wars series, and now I want to rank my top 5 lightsaber duels, battles, whatever you want to call it. Star Wars is not all about lightsabers, but if Star Wars didn't have lightsabers, it probably wouldn't be Star Wars. So this should be a pretty fun countdown. Let's dive in. Coming in at number 5, I am going with Ahsoka versus Anakin in The World Between Worlds in Ahsoka Episode 5. This battle takes place pretty much over the course of the entire episode. It is a training opportunity for Ahsoka, and we see her fighting Anakin from Episode 3, and Hayden has not skipped a beat with his lightsaber moves or anything like that. It was great to see that, but we see that battle take them in the World Between Worlds between Anakin and Ahsoka, and then later on we see Anakin as Vader fighting Ahsoka. Now the choreography, it's not the same as the prequel lightsaber battles, which I think are the greatest, but the battle told a story, and I think that's what makes a lightsaber battle great. It's not just the action or the choreography, but it's the story being told in combination with the action and the choreography and how great it looks. And so this battle tells a very good story. We see Ahsoka confronting her issues. We see Anakin teaching her what she needs to move forward, and it's just really awesome, very nostalgic to see Hayden Christensen back as Anakin on screen with Ahsoka in live action. All of that combined, that makes this lightsaber duel number 5 for me. Coming in at number 4, and this is another newish battle, and that is Vader versus Kenobi in the Kenobi finale. I thought it was shot pretty well. The colors look good with Obi-Wan's blue saber and Vader's red saber on that dark, I think it's on a moon versus a planet, but you would have to fact check me on that. This duel culminates with Obi-Wan striking Vader's mask, and we have that conversation between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and honestly that one conversation makes this whole duel for me. It does have some pretty high stakes in it. If Obi-Wan doesn't win this battle, we've got some serious issues going into the original trilogy. So it's important. It's not just filler, but it also builds on the divide we have between Obi-Wan and Anakin, Obi-Wan and Vader, that we see in their final encounter in A New Hope. I was hesitant that we would actually see them fighting each other before Episode 4 when they announced it, but I think Disney Lucasfilm did a pretty good job on this one, bridging the gap in between Episodes 3 and 4. No complaints here, and so this gets my number 4 lightsaber duel. Coming in at number 3, I have Luke versus Vader in Empire Strikes Back. Now, Empire is my favorite Star Wars movie, but this duel, it doesn't make my favorite duel. Still a great one, just not number 1. I think when you look at the original trilogy, it's very much a different fighting style. Not that it's bad or anything like that, it's just not quite as good as the prequels. Again, like I said with numbers 5 and 4, it tells a great story. We get the big reveal at the end that Vader is Luke's father. We see Luke has left his training to come fight Vader to save his friend, so there's a lot of emotion there. We go through a few different areas in this battle on Cloud City, so there's a lot to like when you're watching it. I really like this one, and honestly it probably gives us the biggest cinematic moment in history with no I am your father. Coming in at number 2, I have a hard time putting this one at number 2 because it is so good. It is the Duel of the Fates in Episode 1. So we have Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul on Naboo. The music is spot on. John Williams kills it. The choreography is spot on. When this happened in 1999 in The Phantom Menace, Star Wars fans had not seen a lightsaber duel like this with the jumps and the fast-paced fighting. We have a dual-bladed lightsaber with Darth Maul. It is a different fight altogether than anything we had ever seen at that point, and it sets the stage for a lot of great duels to come in the prequel trilogy. The duel is very high stakes. We learn from a Dave Filoni interview that it is truly the duel of the fates because Anakin's fate is in the balance on whether Qui-Gon lives or dies, because Qui-Gon as Anakin's master would probably have made things turn out differently. Now, this was information that Dave shared during The Mandalorian Season 1 on the Directors Roundtable. You can check that out on Disney+. It kind of adds a lot of weight to this duel, that it's not just Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon versus Maul. It is a fight over the fate of Anakin, because Star Wars is the story of Anakin. You top all that off with the fact that it's incredible, the effects are good, the fight's good. We see Qui-Gon dies, so it adds some weight to it. We see Obi-Wan cutting Maul in half. There's a lot to like about this duel, and so for that reason, it's number 2 for me. And coming in at number 1, I feel like everyone probably knows what this is going to be, because this is probably most people's number 1 duel, and that is the Battle of the Heroes, Obi-Wan and Anakin on Mustafar in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This duel really does have it all. Again, the music is there, the action is there, the choreography is there. It's visually pleasing on Mustafar. We see the lava. They're going through different areas of this mining facility on Mustafar, so you're pretty engaged seeing what's going on. It's brother versus brother with Anakin versus Obi-Wan, so there's so much emotion in this battle. And the entire prequel trilogy has built up to this, and honestly, at the time of watching, every Star Wars movie had built up to this. We know that Anakin falls to the dark side because we learned that in the original trilogy. The prequels show us exactly how it happens, and this is the scene that culminates and shows us how Anakin becomes the Vader that we know. On top of all of just the visual and storytelling aspects that we see, I think the biggest reason this is my number 1 is because at the time watching this, when I was a kid back in 2005, this was the only piece of Star Wars that we did not have yet. We needed to see exactly how it happened, and this scene did not disappoint. And for that reason, I think it will always be my number 1. There's a lot of Star Wars projects that are going to be coming, but I don't think anything can top this for me, and I'll be excited to see if it does. So let me know what your top 5 would be in the comments. Tell me where I'm wrong, and watch one of these 2 videos next.